Two massive games at the World Cup here in France this weekend. Firstly, Ireland against the Springboks, and of course the winner of this game will finish up playing the All Blacks, most likely in the quarterfinals. Mills, how do you read this one?
Well, initially before the tournament, I had South Africa playing, us in that quarterfinal. So if that was to happen, it means South Africa is, going to beat the Irish. But the way the Irish are travelling at the moment, Jeff, convincing wins. Yes, I know they're lesser oppositions, but the way they've gone about it, they're so clinical. Their team, are healthy. They seem to know, all their sort of structures. They look really dangerous, and I'm picking at that perhaps, the Irish will put them there.
Ultimately, I see Mills, granted that this is the contrasting styles of Rugby World Cup. You've got one team that's great with the ball, great structures, who attacks well, can use the ball on the edges, and you've got the Springboks who've got 15 forwards in their squad. And they're going to play to that. They're going to play a kicking game, they're going to play a territory game, they're going to go up in the air, they're going to contest, and they are dangerous on the outsides if you make a mistake against them. But ultimately, they're going to try and win this game up front. And so I think this is actually going to be really interesting how each team counters what the opposition does. What can Ireland do to shut down the impact of this forward pack from the Springboks? Conversely, is the defence from the Springboks in phases 6, 7, 8, 9, is it going to be good enough to contain the Irish, who's looked really good in this tournament, have shown over the last 18 months to 2 years that they're well organised, they're well disciplined, and their decision making is awesome. I look at this, and for me, how do I see it playing out? I've got Ireland winning this one as well. I genuinely believe they're going to be able to play a game which is going to stress the Springboks, and the way they've gone into this with great confidence, it'll be enough to get the job done.
Is there a certain arrogance in having a 7-1 split on the bench? You're pretty much saying our backs are going to hang in there for the whole 80.
I don't think so. I think it's a controlled arrogance in terms of, hey, this is our strength. And this is the thing about South Africa. They go out and they've been really good, innovative in terms of that. Everyone's talking about them. Everyone's talking about what is South Africa doing now? What are they picking now? How are they playing this? They're bringing someone else, Henry Pollack, and when they didn't think that he would be back in. All the focus has been about what they're doing, and I think they like that. I think they like the fact that within their group they're looking really strong. They're focused on the task at hand, but everyone's sort of looking at South Africa and saying, "Man, what are they going to do?" Almost like a guessing game. South Africa know. They know what they're doing. They know the game that suits them. You're right. It's the kicking game. They're going to put the Irish under pressure. That's the area where I think that the Irish need to try and control and actually outmaster them. And can they get in the air and take that strength away from the South Africans, particularly early on in the game, Jeff?
What we have seen, though, from the Springboks as well, we've seen some variation, particularly off their line-out. When they've looked as though they've looked to maul and maul and maul, then they've been subtle and they've attacked around the short side, they've run plays off it. So I look at their set piece and they've been really smart on how they use it, particularly when they bring on their bomb squad. They're calling it a nuke squad now, because ultimately what they're looking to do is put the pressure up front. They're scrumming for penalties, they'll get field position, they'll go to areas of their game where they're strong at, and then they'll look at scoring opportunities. And for them, 3 points quite often is enough, Nisbo, when you can trust your defence. So as a group, as a team, the Springboks know who they are. They're going to be tough to counter. It's the pressure's on Ireland now to go out and perform to a level that they have been performing to right up until this tournament.
Okay, guys, that's a biggie. But then to follow, Wales against Australia. Pretty much winner take all. Same group as Fiji, remember? How do you read this one, Mills?
Well, a lot of pressure on the Wallabies at the moment after that loss against Fiji. I mean, you kind of look at it, Wales will be sitting there thinking they're on a high. The way that they beat Fiji will survive that sort of last sort of outbreak from them that potentially Fiji could have won. This has the making now of who goes through. I mean, for the Wallabies, it basically would put them out, wouldn't it? And so that's a chance for Wales to really. I like what I've been seeing from Wales at the moment. Came into the tournament, heavily under pressure. The things that were going on back home, not just on the field but also off it, have been against them. There's a bit of fire there, but a bit of desperation, and I think it's almost something that they've actually needed to kickstart themselves in this tournament. They've got the potential now to actually knock a team out.
Look, Warren Gatland said if he'd known some of the issues when he went back to Wales, he may not have taken the job. What he has done, though, he's put this team in a position to go through to the quarterfinals of a Rugby World Cup. They were there at the last tournament in 2019. So there's no doubt there's some players who understand what it takes. The challenge they've got in front of them is that this is history-making for the Wallabies in terms of if they don't win this game, they won't make it to the quarterfinals for the first time in their history, right? So that's for them. This is almost their reputation as a rugby playing nation on the line. So I'm expecting a response, a massive response from them. But ultimately as well, they have to deny Wales bonus points. That's what they have to do. Because they end up winning, then all of a sudden them, Fiji and Wales have all won one game, and bonus points could be the difference. So I look at this and I'm expecting the Wallabies to respond here. Whether it's enough to deny Wales the bonus points that they are looking for, I'm not 100% sure. And then it's going to be a fascinating last 2 weeks, because then it's Fiji's job, right, to get 2 5-point wins to cement their place. So there's a lot at stake, but I'm expecting the Wallabies to respond.
Yep, it's a great weekend for sure. Ireland against the Springboks and the Wallabies against Wales. Really looking forward to it.